All right, and we are live. This is the Unscripted and Off the Cuff Sports Show where we talk sports and not much more. Hey, and there's my boy,
Morning.
Brad.
How's it going, bud?
Not too bad. You got your Bulls gear on this morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting off here, but about 10:30, I gotta get ready and get over to the stadium. So
All right, then. If you want to hit me back up on mobile when you're rolling, sounds good to me.
All right.
If you want to do audio only, I'm good with that, and that way you ain't got to worry about trying to look down and drive.
I was thinking about that, but if I was gonna do it, it would probably be audio because I can't try to pay attention to the phone at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for being here again.
You're welcome. Did you get Lewis to come on? Is he gonna come on or is he gonna?
He said he's gonna try, so he may be here in a minute. Oh, that's a great shot. I'm gonna have to fix the thumbnail because it looks terrible already. Fantastic. Hold on. Do it that way. And we'll get started here in just a second. I'm trying to grab the link so I can post it. Because I'm a professional. Well, no one ever accused me of being smart. I should go ahead and actually what I should do is I should schedule these so that I can have the link to post the link.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, professional stream. What more do you want? Shall we start it off with the NFL today?
Why not?
You see the Niners bought the farm yesterday, or was it Thursday?
I saw the pick. They traded 2 first-round picks.
3.
Oh, 3? Oh, yeah, that's right. This year, next year,
next year, and 2023.
Yeah.
For the 3rd overall pick. And
which will probably be that kid Trey Lance, or I guess Justin Fields, one of the two.
Yeah. I would assume it would be one of those two. If you're gonna trade that high up and give up that much to get somebody, you're gonna have to take somebody. You have to take a franchise quarterback. You can't just take an offensive lineman.
Well, the scary thing is, you look at the Dolphins went down to 12, and they got back to 6, so they're still picking within the top 10.
And they'll probably take Waddle.
Probably.
Either Waddle or an offensive lineman. If that kid out of Northwestern is still available, I could see them going.
What that means, but too, is that you look at the Dolphins, say, okay, well, we had 3. We had a chance to get another quarterback, but we're going to keep Tua. So now Tua basically saved his job.
Well, and that's got to give Tua an immense confidence boost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you're sat there looking at it, you're thinking, well, is the which direction are they going to go? If they go, you can't be sat there thinking you're a franchise quarterback and then have your team picking in the top 5 and draft another quarterback. That would just shoot your confidence all to shit.
Absolutely.
So I've got to imagine that it's got to really be a real confidence boost for Tua and the rest of the locker room that this is our guy. We're gonna stick with him. We're not getting rid of him. And you've got to believe that the Dolphins are saying that the Tua is the future. And I don't blame him. I like Tua. I was real high on him. I've been real high on him since he finally got to start.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great quarterback. I think they need to figure out the offense around him.
Well, again, he's a rookie. So this will probably be his first full year.
Right.
As the quarterback, because he shared that last year with Fitzpatrick. So again, it'll be one of those things where he now will have a full year under his belt as a starting quarterback. The thing with him is, and again, this is the experts talking too, that they don't believe in his arm strength. That's the issue with him.
And that's where your offensive coordinator comes in.
Absolutely. No, I
You've
agree
got to
with
build
you
an
on that,
offense around him that he can thrive in and jive in. Because
Yeah.
if he's not going to be able to throw the ball 30 or 40 yards in the air, well, you don't run those patterns. You keep
Right.
everything underneath you. You extend the run game, kind of like Brady did early in his career in New England, when they didn't have anybody that could stretch the field. You build the offense to your quarterback's strengths. It's annoying because there's so much. Yeah, that's better. I like that better a little bit. Sorry, I'm just playing with the settings.
No, that's okay.
But you know it comes when it comes to building an offense. You want to have you want to complement your players,
Mm-hmm.
and the complementary football is the name of the game when it comes to offense.
Right.
I think that will. I've seen them taking either a receiver or offensive lineman now by moving down to 6, which I think is a good idea. 3, when you don't need a quarterback, 3 is kind of a dead space,
Yeah.
because if you take it's a little too early to take an offensive lineman. It puts too much pressure on on an offensive lineman. I don't like taking offensive linemen in the top 10 because they get that you want to. It creates there's a word for it, and it's escaping me now. But it creates an unfair. The fans have an expectation of getting at another Orlando Pace or a Larry Allen or Steve Hutchinson when you take a guy in the top 5, and when he can't deliver, or if he can't deliver, I'm not saying that I'm not. It's not a knock on any of the guys that are available this year, but if you can't deliver a Pro Bowl performance in your first year, the fans are ready to get rid of you,
Right?
Because they don't want they want especially if you're going to be on the blind side. So with the moves that have been made the last couple of days, I still see Trevor Lawrence going 1. I don't see unless he has a terrible pro day, but unless he has a really terrible pro day. Oops, that's the wrong one. Or just absolutely bombs in his interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why he wouldn't go. Or I see him going number 1 overall.
Oh yeah, I think he will go number 1 overall. If Urban Meyer screws that up, his NFL career could be shortened really quickly. He's already messing everything up as it is. And if you go ahead and don't take, I can't. I mean, so say they take Zach Wilson instead, the kid out of BYU.
Right.
Let's say that they decide, okay, well, he's a better fit in Jacksonville.
Right.
And then Trevor Lawrence gets picked 2 by the Jets and goes on to have a not so good career. And Wilson has
looks like a genius
career in Jacksonville. Now all of a sudden you're a genius. So, right. But I mean, either team right now is not set up for winning.
No, they're really not.
Neither the Jets nor the Jaguars are set up right now to win. It's not like they're going to go in there and they're going to go to the playoffs. The Jets are going to be the low key in the AFC East again because the Patriots got better. The Bills are the cream of the crop, and the Dolphins are going to again load up with the draft.
Looking like they're going to make a run.
Right. And then as far as the Jaguars go, you're in the AFC South, which the only team other than Tennessee is Indianapolis because Houston's a mess. So
Houston's a dumpster fire.
You have Tennessee and you have Indianapolis battling for the division, and the Colts made a move to get Carson Wentz, and Tennessee again still has Ryan Tannehill and of course King Henry and all of them. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays itself out. But I was just watching ESPN. I just turned ESPN on, and I see Mac Jones's name come up, and I'm wondering if maybe San Francisco's talking about drafting him, surprising everybody and taking Mac Jones.
That would be huge.
The kid out of Alabama. I don't know if they would go that far, but I'm just saying that that's a possibility.
It is certainly a possibility. That would shock me.
Yeah.
Because I don't have Mac Jones going until the middle of the first round. I have him right now I have him going to New England at 15.
I was just going to say he would be a good fit in New England behind Cam Newton.
He really would. Cam gets one more year to prove whether he can do it or not.
Yeah.
And then you have the heir apparent in the future.
Because obviously it wasn't Jared Stidham.
There he is. Okay. Hey, Lou.
Lou, what's up?
Genius. Yeah. Like that's a genius move. Yeah, right.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't see you sneak in there.
Well, I did what you told me. You told me to restart. Bingo. So that's all I got to do now. So 2 minutes before we start the show, I'll just restart my computer.
There you go. That'll work.
Well, Saturdays are a little bit tough for me, but I got some time today before I have to head out. But normally I'm tied up on Saturday mornings because, do my stuff and get ready for, my show, of course.
Right.
But
and then
I hear the Eagles or the Niners are trying to, get the second draft pick for the Jets. But I really want to see.
Are they?
Yeah, I read this morning, but you got to get rid of Darnold because what has Darnold done in 3 years for the Jets? Great, big, nothing.
How much is that Darnold and how much is that Adam Gase?
Being that they were cloned and kind of had their split personalities, I'd say it's dead even, because they share the same brain.
Ow! Damn! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Lewis is bringing the heat this morning.
Fired up on a Saturday morning.
We mentioned Adam Gase. That's all I can tell you.
Hey, that's good.
I'm going to read the article for a quick second. I don't have much time, so I'm going to read the quick article. But
go ahead.
Yeah, because I do this first thing in the morning when I see results come up for our side, meaning my side, the Jets. So I'm going to read this article and explain it.
Do it.
It says, first of all, Gase, you're a bum. Well,
I think you're reading between the lines there, Lou.
I always do. I do that best I can. It reminds me of a Flintstones cartoon. When you bum. Okay, so the article says, Dear John, no. Oh. Yes. And you thought the Thursday show was weird, people. Oh, no.
I think we got to have Lou on every Saturday morning, bringing the heat this morning.
Yeah, he's on it this morning.
At 7:30, yes. What is that cockeyed article? Here it is. Okay, here it is. Okay,
for real this time.
Quarterback Zach Wilson, who was expected to be the second in the draft next month, delivered an impressive performance at Pro Day in Utah, which is the middle of nowhere. Yesterday, as 3 teams in the top 12 mark makes trades that could impact the quarterback order. No kidding. With 31 teams represented yesterday, with the exception of the Rams, what a shame, Wilson displayed his arm strength that sparked his breakout season for the Cougars. He dazzled with a few balanced throws for 50 yards. Cougar, doesn't mean that the woman is older. Oh. Yo.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Right. I have. Oh.
Hey.
The Jets, who selected second, were represented by their general manager, Joe Douglas, new head coach Robert Saleh, and offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, French. 49ers GM John Lynch was also on hand, as well as Falcons GM Terry Fornott, and Coach Arthur were also present. The 49ers went up from the number 3 spot to perhaps draft their successor to Jimmy G. The Dolphins slid back to the number 6 spot in the deal with the Eagles. Now, Lynch could still get a shot at landing Wilson, though the Jets might be looking to replace Sammy Boy and could take him at number 2. Okay. And Jets fans are only hoping for that, including myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yuck. So it looks like we might be screwed anyway.
Yeah, right.
What else is new?
So I wonder what the Dolphins would have to give up to move up to 2.
I don't know.
Or Niners. I'm sorry. The Niners.
Oh, I didn't know you were on.
No, I'm just waiting until we go.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. All right. Okay.
What time are we going? Oh.
In about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I was reading this.
We got Lou for 20 and Brad for 15.
I was just coming up, because I do my notes first thing. And I see what's trying to go on with my teams.
Right.
First, and this came up. And I'm like, well, every time that we seem to get what we think is a good quarterback, it's always turned out to be a bust in the end. I mean, everybody was looking,
Yeah.
We haven't had a good quarterback, I think, since Sanchez.
Yeah. Sanchez was mediocre at best.
Hey, he gave us a chance for 2 AFC titles, so I wouldn't call it that.
That was that Jets defense, man. That Jets defense was something
At
else.
least he had a good defense back then. Now it doesn't mean crap.
Yeah, well, in that. This is driving me crazy because I can't center myself up on the camera. There we go. That's better.
What's the camera, pal?
With Sammy Watkins to the Ravens. Alrighty then.
Wow.
That's a huge get for the Ravens.
Now, this is breaking news, isn't it?
What's that?
This is breaking news?
Yeah. I just turned the ESPN on, and that was the ticker that was rolling. I hadn't seen that yet.
I was catching up on the morning news because my favorite weekend weather girl was on. I couldn't miss her.
I bet.
You don't live in the New York area, so you wouldn't know.
Right.
Just to be clear on that. Because you live in the Boston area, right?
No, I live in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. I thought you came from Boston.
Michigan.
Oh, right. So it wasn't your cousin from Boston. Oh.
No. Your cousin from Boston.
Yeah. I have friends out there, so.
Yeah. And you hate them with a passion.
All of Boston or just certain teams?
All of Boston.
Oh, come on. Come a little slack. I can't stand the Red Sox, as you know. The Patriots.
He's got a Yankee hat on. Come on.
That's right. And it's brand new.
Is it really? It looks good.
It's nice, Lewis. It's nice. I saw the end.
Because in case you forgot, yesterday was my birthday.
That's right.
Oh, happy birthday,
Mr.
Lou.
Yes.
Facebook reminded me. So I was going to say something, and then I got into the show, and it was trying to get everything coordinated.
I think I set a record yesterday for comments, which I think crowded up my Facebook page. I wasn't able to read them all, but I got 51 comments.
Nice.
Which I think is up from 3 from last year.
I just go through and like all my friends that say happy birthday, so that way I don't have to worry about anybody being like, well, you didn't say anything to me. Oh, no, we're not friends anymore.
What do you tell us, dumbass?
Right. All I do is I just go in and I like everybody's comment, and then I don't say happy birthday to anybody on Facebook, so that way I don't make anybody upset. Well, you didn't. You said happy birthday to so and so, but you didn't say happy birthday to me. Why didn't you say happy birthday to me? I'm like, because I really don't care about you.
Because I don't care about you, dumbass.
But no.
No. But anyway,
Yeah. So, if the would you like to see them draft the quarterback and hold on to Darnold for a year?
No.
So you want Darnold gone?
Gone. Give him the hook.
Stage right. You're either right.
or I can look at this 2 ways. I can do the old Saturday Night Live skit. Bye-bye. Or
bye-bye.
I can go the NSYNC route. Bye.
No cheeseburger for you. Cheeseburger.
That's before your time, Adam.
No Coke. And
no Pepsi Coke.
No Pepsi Coke.
And no soup for you either.
No soup. No soup for you.
Oh. We are just as bad as the Thursday show, aren't we?
That's the fun thing about this show is there's no script, there's no agenda. We don't have to hit any topic.
What's a script?
I don't know. What's a script with you?
Yeah. No, I do read a script, but I also ad-lib on the show too. But because I kind of like to read the notes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's 7 days of pages, and if you can't, you can't expect to do everything on the top of your head for the last 7 days.
That's what I do.
Well, you're a genius.
No, I'm just talented like that. Well, I get that. I turn the ESPN on.
2 to 3 days, maybe. I can read off.
Well,
but 7 days. Yeah.
We're gonna hit all the high. We're gonna hit the headlines, and I'm not really worried about going any deeper than the surface level, because the thing about this show is we only do it once a week, right?
Right.
So it's not like we have to go. It's not like we're trying to fill 20 hours of content. I was thinking about Mike and Mike, which was the first show that I ever really got into. I loved in the mid 2000s. My show was Mike and Mike from 10 to 6, and I just don't know how they filled 20 hours of content. After you hit and especially in the summer when it's baseball is the only thing going.
Well,
man, I don't know.
Soccer, come on. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I don't do the soccer much. Yeah,
I cover almost everything.
Yeah, I do, and then I'm when you have to try to fill 20 hours of content, they got 5 4-hour shows.
Yes,
that's insane to me. Like, I struggle after the 4 hours we do, the 2 on Thursday and the 2 here. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to take a week off and recharge, and we'll, hit the highlights. But like I was thinking about it, it must be insane that the hours they keep must have been insane because you have, especially during the fall when you have football, you have college football on Thursday night.
Yes.
College football on Friday night.
Yes.
College football all day Saturday.
Right.
Pro ball all day Sunday. Pro ball on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple years ago they had started having college football on Thursday and the MAC game of the week on Tuesday night.
Well, that's later in the season though. That's not every week.
Yeah, but that starts like week 6.
No, it usually is like around late October into early November.
No, well, a couple years ago when I was hurt and couldn't work,
did you get
I did not have Aflac.
But
I had good insurance. I had good car insurance, so it took care of me, and I was squared away.
Yeah.
But
then again, it's the MAC conference, and does 95% of fans give a cat's ass about it? No.
I care because it's football.
You're one of the 5% that does care about that.
Well, growing up in Michigan, I had a huge affinity to Central Michigan. So
Taylor Phillips' base.
Yeah. And so I would watch any time that Central, the Chippewas, Eastern, Western.
We went to school.
That's
where Taylor Phillips went to school.
Right.
But now that the MAC conference is all like a dumpster fire, he's like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah. But I like watching MAC games. There's the MAC. The thing about the MAC is there are a lot of guys that are going to be steals later in the draft in the MAC. The MAC, the SWAC,
the WAC.
Yeah. Those conferences that you don't see on Saturday.
Yeah, but small, they don't get a lot of attention either. And
right.
I don't know if you're going to get a lot of players from those conferences to either they'll get low in the draft or they're probably not even going to play pro football at all.
Well, that's the thing about the MAC and the smaller conferences like the Sun Belt and all of them. That's when you can go. That's when your GM earns it. That's where your GM earns his money.
Right, of course.
Is being able, and your scout team is being able to steal somebody in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Because you got the first 3, you're going to take mostly Power 5 guys. 90% of your draft picks are going to be Power 5 guys in the first 3 rounds. But then once all those guys are gone, that's when your GM really earns his money, and your scout team is being able to find guys in the 5th and 6th round that don't play as a Power 5. Yeah. Guys like Brett Favre, guys with a chip on their shoulder and a drive to work.
Yeah.
And Where did
Or
Rob?
who? Never heard of him.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to.
What became of Brett Favre anyway?
I don't know. Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah.
He sent pictures to. He sent pictures to a reporter. I know.
Oh. That's always a good thing, you know.
Yeah, I know, right?
You never know what kind of trouble you can get into.
Right?
Tell you, like the Mets GM. Oops.
Oh.
Sorry, folks.
Oh. Oof. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. You know the fucked up thing about that
No,
is that
what?
they knew about those pictures before they hired him.
You dumbass.
I know, right?
You can't do that.
I really the Astro scandal from a couple years ago. I really thought that I was really looking forward to seeing Carlos Beltran as a
yeah. The GM.
What
Manager.
Yeah,
A manager.
manager. Yeah.
Just a
As
manager,
the bench manager.
or a general manager.
The bench manager. Yeah,
Okay.
the manager. And then of course they have the scandal and he gets fired and I was really disappointed. So I was looking forward to see what he could do.
Yeah. But I still think that, the Jets are trying to look to get to Wilson,
Yeah.
Carl's got to go. Really, he hasn't done anything. And if he stay around for one more year, it could only get worse.
Do you think they'll go if they can't get Wilson, do you think they go Lance or okay. Well,
No,
there's
anyway. Remember?
No, not Lawrence, Lance out of North Dakota.
Oh, ooh.
Because they're picking at two.
I think I'd rather go. At Lance than Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence, dropped us like a rock, just like that. So, forget about him. I think I'll go North Dakota. That's that's a considerable step down from the big schools, but
right. I mean, everybody's super high on him.
Yeah.
And they didn't get to play a full season. Like they played one game last year, and he looked pretty pedestrian in it. But he had Wilson had a great pro day yesterday. So if that's their guy in New York, I think they won't trade. They won't trade out of there unless San Francisco blows them away with some kind of amazing offer. And San Francisco already dumped three.
Yeah, I know.
3 first round picks to move up to 3. I've got to imagine that they reached out to the Jets.
There are some people that weren't happy about that, especially my co-host. He says he wasn't happy about that trade at all.
You think that's what I told Brad when we first started the show. Is I said the Niners bought the farm.
So you agree with that too? That was not a smart trade.
I think they overpaid. I would not give away 3 first round picks. There's too much. There's too much talent. I don't see Zach Wilson as a franchise unless I know they're really high on the guy. But you only moved up to 3. You didn't move up to 2 or 1. So you really don't have if Lance is your guy, then you really needed to move up to 2. I've got to imagine that Lynch called the Jets GM and was like, "Hey, what would it take to get 2?" And they wouldn't budge off of 2 because they want Wilson. So I think it goes Lawrence, Wilson, and then Justin Fields or Trevor Lance. Or not Trevor. What is his name?
Trevor
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
I thought it was freelance, but no. Yuck. Yeah, there was no way Trevor was going to come here. I think I'm going to take a chance on Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I think going 1 or 2 might have been pushing it a bit, so I think maybe 3 might have been the best move. But a lot of fans were like thinking this is ridiculous. That is so stupid. Going all the way up to the 3rd pick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A lot of fans are crying foul. I know it's a baseball reference, but
right. You're crying shame.
I thought it was still fitting. Crying
shame.
It is.
There's
I
There
can only
may be,
imagine what the draft is going to be like in a couple of weeks. I mean, it's really enough already.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the free agency has been insane.
What else is new?
Free agency is always insane. Did you need to get rolling, Mr. Bradley?
Yeah, but I got to get off, guys. I'll get back on a little bit later. Yep.
Yeah. Whenever you get squared away and you get in your car, just you can open the link from your phone and then you push the. Yeah, okay. If you know how to do it, then I'll let you. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes.
See ya.
All right. Good. Maybe you can explain it to me at some time.
Yeah, you can if you want to call back in via your phone when you're in the car. That's cool with me.
How do I do that? How do I do that?
Okay, so when you go in your Facebook app, if you have Facebook on your phone, right?
Yeah, I do actually. I never use them.
So go in your Messenger app. Click on the link. And then in the top right hand corner there'll be 3 dots. Click on that, and then it'll tell you to open your web browser, and then you open your web browser, and it'll bring up like on your computer. You just put your name, whatever name you want to use in, and then enter the broadcast studio.
But I'll try and get back to you on that, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Regardless, though, I'll be back Thursday, and I'll set the computer before the show starts.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And you gonna plug your show this afternoon?
5 o'clock, Enhanced Sports Show. Call the number 512-543-4662. I'll repeat that again, 512-543-4662. We'll be heavily on the Sweet 16. NBA with the trade deadline just happened. Free agent frenzy in football. And a lot of other stuff to contend with. So if you got time, please call in. But right now, I got to go.
All right.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, Lou. That was Lewis, and Brad will be back in a minute, hopefully. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to talk about what I like to talk about. We're going to talk a little NASCAR. We're going to talk a little Noah Gragson, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it all last week because all of the shenanigans went down after the show went off the air. So what ended up happening was during the Nationwide or Xfinity race. Sorry, it's Busch Nationwide. It's had so many different sponsor names over the last 20 years that I get them all confused. There was an incident on pit road. The 99 car overshot his box. And then, so that caused the 18 car of Daniel Hemrick to overshoot his box, which caused the 9 car of the one Trevor Lawrence to overshoot his box. Or Trevor Lawrence, what the fuck am I talking about? Noah Gragson to overshoot his box. And so Noah Gragson had to back up into his box and hit Daniel Hemrick while they were conducting pit stops. And he also gave Hemrick the finger on the way by. So after the race ends, they're all sitting on pit road, and Daniel Hemrick comes over and shoves Noah Gragson and starts an altercation. And what ends up happening, they have to throw a couple of punches back and forth. Hemrick, they both kind of land glancing blows, and then the officials break it up. And what happened? This is not Noah Gregson's first incident. Noah Gragson has been in a lot of altercations over the last year and a half. I like Noah Gragson personally. He's a dude, you know. He's a tough kid. He's a tough customer. And some people have been criticizing him because he got the 9 ride, a ride that had won several championships over the last few years. I want to look at this real quick. Pull up the wiki article, because that's actually the easiest way to. There we go, JR Motorsports. So the 9 car had had won titles in that car was the car that won titles in 2014, 2017, and 2018. So Noah Gragson gets that ride in if I can pull it up. Come on, go down to the 9 car. 8 car. 9 car. Here we go. William Byron won a title with it. Tyler Reddick won a title with it, and Chase Elliott won a title with it. And now Noah Gragson has only won 2 races in the last year and a half. A car that won a title has only won a couple of races. You went from a championship winning car to a guy that's only won a couple of races. And you know, he has 2 wins and 52 top 10s over the last 2 years. Not include, so, and he's only, give Gregson shit for being young. He's only 22. And he drives like you would drive. He drives like a 22-year-old. He's in, he drives every lap like it's the last lap. And he's going to have to learn. He's only 22. So it's not like he's in, it's not like he's in his, it's not like he's only been racing for 4 years. He's only been in the Xfinity Series for 4 years. So it's not like he's been around for a decade already, and he should know better. And, he ran 6 years in trucks. He ran a couple of years in trucks. And then he moved up to Xfinity. And the thing about Noah Gragson is the fact that he's scrappy and he doesn't care. And he's only 22. He hasn't even turned 23 yet. So he's got a long way to go and a lot of time to improve and get better and grow. And if he can figure out how to get there here in the next year and a half, he'll be fine. He doesn't have to come up to the Cup Series tomorrow. He's not looking, it's not like Hendrick Motorsports, because that's is not looking to replace anybody right away. He's got a lot of They've got a lot of young drivers, a lot of young talent. Alex Bowman, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson. So Noah Gragson doesn't have to step up to the next level tomorrow. Or even, next year, tomorrow being tomorrow. He's got a lot of He's got a lot of he's got a lot of room to grow and get better. He doesn't have to he doesn't have to be the next superstar. He's still got time to learn and grow and get better. He's a young driver, he's a young kid, and it's still early in his career. I could say that if he was if he had, if he's 25 or 26 and he'd been juxtaposing that to Daniel Hemrick, who the driver that he had the incident, Hemrick's 30, and he has no wins across any of the top 3 major series. He's run well over 100 races, and counting all of the things that he's done over his career. And he started in he started his career in 2013. His first truck race. His first full-time season was in 2015, and he ran 2 years in there, and then he struggled. He struggled at Richard Childress. He struggled at Carl. He didn't run a few. He only ran a few races at Cullen. Struggled at a JRM last year, and he struggled at Joe. He's been okay at Joe Gibbs for the last year, and to start the year. So but he has no wins, a handful of top 5s, a handful of top 10s. He's not exactly been lighting up the scoreboard for his career. He doesn't really have any room to talk when it comes to Daniel or Trevor Lawrence. Noah Gragson. Jeebus Christ. If I could speak English, it would help when you have a podcast. So, that being said, that idea that Noah Gragson is scrappy. He's not gonna give an inch. And looking at some of his other incidents, yeah, he's been in the wrong. I'm not gonna say that he hasn't been in the wrong. The Myatt Snyder incident last year at, I think it was Vegas, where he just dumps Myatt Snyder it was Riley Herbst. No, was it Riley Herbst? Yeah, it was Riley Herbst in the 18 car. He just dumps Riley Herbst because it was because he just felt like getting in that corner. He got in the corner too hot and washed up and got into the 18. He's got to learn to control himself. I'm not saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's very talented. He's got a couple of wins. He's got skill, and it's important that he harnesses that over the next year and a half so that he can grow and build and continue to work on himself. And continue to become and continue to move forward in his career. That's what I'm. That's where I'm at on Noah Gragson. I like him. He's scrappy. He reminds me a lot of Dale Sr. His driving style. His personality, not so much. But his driving style, definitely. And that's the thing about Noah Gragson that I really like, is that he's not afraid to mix it up and get after it. And ooh, Brad's back. Mr. Walker, do you have audio? Apparently we have no audio, so I will continue to babble about Noah Gragson until I get audio. So there he is. Now we can hear him. Well, I heard noise. So I think that There you are.
What's up?
Not much, man. What's up with you? How long of a drive is it up there?
It'll probably take me about 20 minutes, depending on traffic.
Oh, I gotcha. So not that long then.
But I just left, so I figured I'd pop back in here. If I cut in and out, it's because of the,
Yeah,
signal
signal and all
on the
that.
phone and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. Appreciate you coming back.
I was gonna say before I got off that the NFL, the Bucs signed everybody but Antonio Brown.
Yeah, they signed all the starters back.
Yeah, they got Leonard Fournette back yesterday. Which that was a shocker to me. I didn't think they were going to bring him back.
I didn't see him coming back either.
So.
But I'm okay with it.
Well, and it's only $4 million, so
right.
I don't breaking the bank to bring him back.
No, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially even if he flames out after week 3 and he retires, it's not like or they cut him. It's not like they're cutting 20 million, 15, 5, 10. They're only cutting 4, so they can pay him and just write him off and be done with it.
Well, I also think too, Rojo obviously.
So I'm okay with it.
Is the main attraction in that offense anyway. Fournette is just a good, he's a backup.
Right.
And then obviously I don't know if you want to call Keyshawn Vaughn a bust, but he didn't have a very good rookie year. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. And the Bucs may draft a running back at 32. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I've heard.
What their goal is. Yeah.
Right. I heard they were looking at that kid out of Alabama.
Okay.
Whose name is escaping me right now. Let me look him up.
Harris?
Yeah, Najee Harris. Yep, that's his name.
If he falls that far, I don't know if he'll fall that far.
That's what I've seen in a lot of the mock drafts I was looking at last week was that that they've got him
going at 32. Wow.
Yep, to Tampa Bay.
I mean, that would be a huge upgrade at running back, but I don't think he falls that. There's got to be someone in the first round that needs a running back that may take him before he even gets to. I mean, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I know a lot of people are very hesitant about drafting a running back in the first round. And that's not a premium position anymore either. So it will. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe the Bucs get lucky and. Just like O.J. Howard fell to them a few years ago, maybe it'll be the same thing with Najee Harris.
Yeah, this
He'll
one's
fall
got
to them at 32.
This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.com. They've got Najee Harris going to Pittsburgh at 24. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he doesn't
end up in Tampa.
Yeah. So
yeah, I could see the Steelers drafting running back because obviously Lev Bell's gone, and I forget who their running back is now.
Connor is expected to be they're expected to move on from him.
Okay, yeah, see that.
So
that would be why they would draft Harris, because then it would put him as a rookie to get him into that offense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am surprised that Roethlisberger came back.
Yeah, I was a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah. So we'll have to see how that all shakes out, because that's a very interesting division, because if the Browns can repeat like they did a year ago, you got three teams in that division that are good. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland are all very good football teams. Cincinnati, feel bad for Joe Burrow, who, reluctantly got hurt last year. But, I mean, other than that, the Bengals are still on a rebuild anyway. But even with him there, even if he had survived the season, it still would have been a rebuild anyway. They're far from being relevant again like they were back in the early 90s when Boomer Esiason was their quarterback. But, I mean, yeah, it's been, but we'll have to wait and see what the Steelers do, because it is, according to Urinating Tree, he didn't even want Roethlisberger to come back.
Yeah.
So I will have to wait and see how that all shakes out with
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the mock draft has changed from last week. Figure that one out. Now they've got
Well,
Harris.
obviously too, but with all the trades that have gone down, I'm sure that they've been moved around a little bit, especially the
Yeah.
top 12 picks have been moved and shook around. So,
Yeah, definitely. It's been a crazy offseason. This has been one of the weirdest off seasons of the last 20 years. I don't ever remember there being this many trades in the first round.
what do you think, Bud, that COVID had something to do with that? Do you think that
Yeah,
maybe
especially with not having a combine.
Yeah.
I also think that maybe the NFL is changing, and people are wanting to.
Yeah.
We've seen the draft is a crapshoot. At best, it's gambling.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
The greatest player to have ever played the game went in the 6th round.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to be, and that's what I've always said about being a GM is it's so hard because people think that being a GM is like a lot of times it's like, well, why didn't we go get this guy? Why didn't we get that guy? And it's like, well, if you're looking at some of the top free agents, let's say J.J. Watt is, he was a free agent last year. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He wants out. He wants out in Texas. He doesn't want to play in Houston anymore. So he's available. He's available. Let's say you're the GM of the Lions, and of course you'd love to have him. So you call his agent, you're like, and the agent doesn't pick up the phone. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. True.
There's nothing you can do. If it's so much. It's so easy for us to sit here on the sidelines and go, well, why didn't they call this guy? Why didn't they call that guy? What happened? Why didn't they get this guy? Why didn't they get that guy? It's so easy. It's so easy to sit here, and even in the media, and be like, well, why didn't we get this guy? Why didn't we get that guy? And if the agent won't even take the phone call, what's the point? You're wasting your breath at that point.
Really, Bud, the only sport that you can go and say, I want that guy is baseball because there's no salary cap. Yeah, I want that guy. So let me call his agent, and you want to play for the Yankees? Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah,
we'll make a deal.
And and the thing about it is that let's say that you're drafted you got 4 years before you become a free agent, maybe 3 to 5 years before you become a free agent. And a lot of guys are they've got girlfriends, they got wives, they got kids, and you're 24, you're 24, 25 years old now. You've been let's say you get picked 15 and you go to New England, right? Let's say this year the New England picks 15, they take whoever they and 4 years from now when he's a free agent, let's see he's a top 5 free agent. And so he's got pick of the litter, right? He can go anywhere he wants. And the thing about it is he's got 2 kids, he's got a wife, he's got a mortgage, he's got a house that he's got to try and offload if he goes somewhere else.
Right.
And he's established himself in New England. And so it's not just about getting the player. It's about convincing him and his family to move. If San Francisco calls and says, hey, we'd love to have you. We're going to give you 4 years, $85 billion, astronomical money, right? 5 years from now, I'm sure contracts for top 5 free agents will all be in the $150 million range, no matter what position you play.
Yeah. Yep.
You call him up and you're like, hey, this is John Lynch from the San Francisco 49ers. And your agent gave me your number, and we'd love to have you come out to San Francisco to take a look around, and we'll talk to you about it. He gets to San Francisco and he goes, I don't want to I don't want to live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for us to sit here and go, well, why didn't they go and get that guy, or why didn't they go get this guy? And we don't think about it in terms of real life. His kids are all his kids are all starting to grow up. Well, let's say he had, if he had kids when he was 20, he got married in college, got a couple of kids. He's 5 years from the time he's drafted. Now, if his kid is 2 when he's drafted, his kid's gonna be 7 or 8. He's getting ready. He's been in school for 3 years. And they've established themselves in the area where they were drafted, or maybe he didn't. He's got a couple of houses because in the off season he goes home to wherever home is. And it's so easy to sit here and go, well, why didn't we take that guy? Why didn't we take this guy? Why didn't we go get that guy? And yet, there's so much more to it there's so much more about it than just being just money. The money is yes, money is important and money talks, but when you have a person, I got friends who have standing job offers, making $20 or $30 an hour, and he doesn't want to take the job because he doesn't want to live in the big city. He doesn't want to go down to Atlanta. You can call him up. He's got a degree. He's a computer genius. You call him up tomorrow and be like, I'm on my way, and they'd be like, all right, we got a job for you. Show up and we'll help you get settled. Yeah. But he doesn't want to leave his hometown. Everybody he knows is here. All of his family is here. His friends are here, and he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, that's.
And it's the same thing,
Well, I don't blame him, but again, I lived in Florida all my life, and if I had a job offer, say in Tennessee,
right?
All right, let's just say, for example, I think it would be very, very hard for me to leave Florida, where I lived all my life, to go to Tennessee, where I have no friends, no family, no nothing. Now, if you're single and you have no family, you're gone. Yes, I'll take the job.
It's a lot easier,
whatever. But when you have family, even if you don't have kids, if you have family and friends, it's hard to leave the city and go, okay, I gotta move to Tennessee. All right, I gotta get settled. Once I get settled, now I gotta go out now and meet new people.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy, especially with COVID being still around, not as much as it was last year. But
yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to meet new people.
It really is.
And then again too. But if you're not that outgoing, say like you're the quiet friend in the group, it's very hard to go out and meet people if you're not an outgoing person. Trust me, from my point of view, man. When I was in high school, I rarely talked to anybody. I had friends. Yeah. I didn't go out. I didn't go out and party with people. And now, as I get it, now that I'm in my 30s, I wish that I could go back with the knowledge and the I've become more outgoing in the last 5-6 years. Going on now doing podcasts and being on the computer 3 days a week. I wouldn't have done that in high school. I'd have been scared shitless.
Right.
To do that. So I'm just saying from your point, it's very, very hard to do that. To change cities and move. And even if the money's good, it's still hard. That's hard.
If they were opening up a new branch of, where you work up here in Tennessee, and they said, hey, we're going to make you the regional manager. It's going to be $120,000 a year. That's good money. It's good money. Yeah. But all your friends are down there. Your family's down there. You got a new roommate moving in here in a couple of months. Yep. Now you got to tell him, hey, my whole world is changing. Everything that I have is moving. You can either move with me, or you can stay down here. Your choice. It's so much. It's one thing if you get traded, right? Hey, we're moving on from you. We've got a great offer for you. There's not. Especially if you don't have a no trade contract clause in your contract. It's you just kind of got to bite the bullet and do what you're told, or not. But the idea of being a free agent is so, and for normal people, I quit my job tomorrow, go find another job somewhere else, and move on with my life. But when you're but then again, even then, it's hard because when you're you got a family, you've got friends, everything you've known for how many ever years you've been in the city that's where everybody is, that's where all your friends are, that's where everything you do is. And so it's so hard to make that kind of commitment to moving.
Right.
And again, it's so easy for fans to sit here and go, why didn't we go get this guy? Or why didn't we go get that guy? But then again, there's so many moving parts that we don't get to see. I've never seen an NFL contract. I don't know what the language in the NFL contract looks like. And there may be, there's a lot of things that go into just into free agency that we don't get to see.
Right.
It's so easy for us to sit here and go, well, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? And yet, and to think that our GM's an idiot. It's very easy to say, well, your GM's an idiot. It's for want of an example. Let me look it up real quick because there's a prime example of our GM. Sometimes GMs are just idiots.
Well, yeah, because for the Lions, I could think back to what was his name?
Matt Millen.
There you go. That was an idiot GM. That was an idiot GM.
He was clueless.
Well, see, there you go, Bud, too. I think sometimes because people have certain knowledge of things, they think, oh, this person will make a good coach or this person will make a good GM, and they have no fucking clue what the hell they're doing, and they screw it up. Then the next general manager, because I'm going to say this for an example here, for the Lightning, the GM that we had, Brian Lawton, prior to Stevie Yzerman, he fucked everything up. Yzerman, luckily enough, came here and fixed everything and turned this team into a Stanley Cup contender. And obviously, we won the Cup last year. What I'm saying is turn us into a Cup contender because we weren't anywhere even close to a Cup contender under Brian Lawton. No way. Signed big free agents, free agents that were older, the big contracts. It's like, dude, and they weren't working out. So, I mean, it took a guy like Stevie Yzerman that had been in hockey for all his life, was on one of the greatest hockey teams ever. I'm going to say that. He was on the Red Wings for however many years. They won a lot of Stanley Cups when he was there. He was their captain. So he knew the ins and outs of the business. He knew what a GM did. He knew how a
buttons
GM
to push.
Right. And then being in an organization like Detroit, who's one of the original 6 teams, it helps. Because you can see how, obviously he's got his hands full right now. He's got his hands full with Detroit. He's got a couple years. But trust me, knowing what he did here in Tampa, he will get it all fixed in Detroit. And it's going to take him a little while to clean everything up because obviously I forget who your general manager was prior to him. There you go. Didn't really, the last few years of his tenure, he didn't really do a very good job.
No,
prior, it was fine, but the last few years it did not go very well for the Red Wings. So
no, it did not. No, it did not. It was very much a dumpster fire for the last 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And that's going to be the that's going to be the thing about the Red Wings is getting back to prominence. How long, we've been miserable for the last 6 years. And if we don't see rapid improvement here in the next year and a half, 2 years, it's gonna be tough even for a guy that could run for mayor 10 years ago. It's gonna be tough for him to keep his job.
Right. Right.
Because we clamored for him and we begged him to come home, fix it. He's gonna, and like you said, it's gonna take a couple years to get things cleaned up. He's got to get the dead cap off the books. He's got to get rid of all the bad contracts. He's gonna have, and then the tough thing about the draft is that because the NHL and the NBA for some reason don't do the draft like the NFL. They have a draft lottery, which is ridiculous. Yeah. And the idea was that it would eliminate tanking, that it would prevent tanking, and it really hasn't.
Yeah.
And the NFL, the NFL is like, well, if you tank, you tank. Oh well, that's on you.
Right.
You have to figure out how you're gonna have to explain it to your fan base why you guys suck. Deal with it. In the NHL, the draft lottery was supposed to eliminate tanking, but it doesn't do anything if your team just sucks.
True, and the whole thing with that draft lottery, to me, it leaves the teams that really need the pick, the first pick, it leaves you on a lurch, because look at what happened. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was you guys who were supposed to, like, 90% chance to get the first overall pick in the draft. And it went to the Rangers.
Yeah.
And went to the Rangers, and they drafted Lafreniere or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a generational player that could have helped Detroit's rebuild. Because, see, that's what I think a lot of times, too. There are certain fan bases out there that when it comes to certain things, the patient factor is not there as much as it is for a lot of other teams. And I'm not calling Detroit fans impatient, but what I'm trying to say is, because that was your team in the city of Detroit, the Red Wings were the team. That was the best team.
Preeminent
the
team.
Lions, not so much. The Tigers, not so much. The Red Wings were the premier team.
Yep.
And now they aren't good either. And now you're like, okay, what do? We don't have anyone to cling to because the Pistons aren't good. The Lions could be possibly better this year. The Tigers are still down in the division. So now you have no one to have hope for in a way.
Yeah. And there's no, wearing your gear out in town isn't worth it. There's nothing to take pride. There's no team to take pride in. Even if you're a Lions fan or a Tigers fan, as long as the Wings were still good, people would be like, "Oh yeah, I get that." But now that the Wings stink, and it's frustrating because it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, no matter who's the GM. They could have had a literal hockey deity come in and be the GM, a hockey wizard, and they could wave a magic wand and dump all the bad contracts and get a half a dozen top free agents to come in, and it's still going to take time to get everything because there is no hockey wizard with a magic wand. You just got to hope and work at it and get better day by day. And the thing about it is that they're too loyal in Detroit.
Yeah.
Holland should have been gone 3 years ago. They should have dumped his ass in 2018 when he started trading away all of our talent. The talent we had for garbage, third and fourth round picks, and he wasn't getting any kind of return on those picks, and he was letting players fester in the minor leagues, and it pisses me off. if you don't have a top 5 guy, a guy that come in and start today, available, get rid of that pick because that pick ain't worth shit. We're not in a position where we can wait for a guy for 2 or 3 years. We're terrible.
Look at that sign, man. Super Bowl champion.
It's got to feel pretty good.
Shit. That's amazing.
And you don't even have
Super Bowl champion.
And you don't even have to turn the Xbox off.
No, exactly. Exactly. How's it going, sir? I am.
Are you a part of the alumni crew?
I am not.
Go that way.
Thank you. All right.
Sounds like you've arrived.
Yeah, I have, bud. I mean, I'll still talk to you. I can kind of talk for a little while. I don't think the gates just opened up at 11. Yeah, I'm going to go down here. This guy is ushering me down here.
Waving you on.
Yeah, this is kind of... Oh, I guess I can go all the way down to the end. Oh, that'll be gravy. This is kind of where I park when I'm a media member, so I'm not parking in some foreign area.
Right.
Oh, shit. You know what? I'm going to park next to this guy right here by this tree, and then I can pull right out of here when I get ready to leave. I will definitely take a picture of that Super Bowl champion banner.
Sweet. And then now you have a landmark for when you come out and you find your car.
Yeah, like I said, but I'm parked where I normally park for media purposes, so I know where I'm going and everything.
Right.
Except today, with the media, I had to be vaccinated, and I found out the other day that the bank that I work for is going to vaccinate their employees here soon. So
cool.
I'll be one of those people who will be getting
vaccinated
here soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least I can be a little safe.
Yeah, they're turning it loose. Not next Monday, but the Monday after that, the 5th, here in Tennessee. They're going to open it up to everybody. Anybody and everybody that wants one can get one. So as soon as I can, I'm going to go get mine at my earliest convenience.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be the hard part, but it's trying to find one.
Yeah.
With everybody's like, oh, I'm going. Your appointments will go like hotcakes, snap of a finger, and it'll be packed. There won't be any. So yeah.
I just hope that I can get in.
Yeah.
I'm on the waiting list already.
Cool. That's good.
So hopefully sooner rather than later we'll be able to get one.
Yep.
And then we can start getting things back to normal. It's funny here. A lot of things are already as normal as they've been in the last year.
Right.
There's like they ended the mask mandate. They've let more and more businesses are opening up to fuller and fuller capacities. Yeah, things are starting to get back to normal. Like I figured they would. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's gonna be the end of the world, doom and gloom," and they're never gonna. They're never gonna let. It's gonna be masks forever, and they're never gonna let us go back to be. I'm like, it's. As soon as they can, they're gonna get everything opened back up and turn everything loose.
The people that are like that are conspiracy theorists.
Right.
They want it to be that way so that they can have an excuse, is what they want. Yeah. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So
no, it's gonna get back to normal here sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I assume by 2022 everything will be back to the way it was before. It'll be different, but it'll be the same.
Right.
As different as it will be, it'll be back to the way it was.
It'll be a new normal is what it'll be. It'll just be what we're going to be normal to. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It'll be like after every major incident. World War I, it's 4 years of misery, and within a couple of years, everything went back to as normal as it could be after a major event. After World War II, it was 4 years of misery, and then everything went back to as normal as it could be after a major event. Even 9/11, as much as things change, they stay the same. Yeah, so you
Right.
show up at the airport an hour earlier. Take off your
Yep.
shoes. Oh well,
Yep.
life goes on. You know,
Yep.
it's gonna get back to being. It's gonna get back to being as normal as it ever was.
Right.
You know, they're gonna have full capacity crowds. Concerts are gonna come back. Movie theaters are gonna be fully open and operational. Things that were gonna change anyway, like movie theaters, are on their way out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I see that most people, a lot more people are going to be renting from home and not going to the theater just to watch a movie. You know, big movies will still be seen in theaters in droves, but minor movies they won't draw as big as they have. So there'll be a lot more streaming because people have become so
accustomed to it.
Well, I mean, you spend $3,000 on a 55-inch or 65-inch television.
Mhm.
You know, you spend $3,000 on a home theater, right? Why would I bother going? You know, I could spend $30 to watch a movie and have all my friends come over and hang out,
Right.
and watch the movie. Why wouldn't and have my own snacks and pause the movie and go to the bathroom whenever I want to go?
Correct.
And that's me and my dad used to talk about that all the time. Is why are sports? Why is it hard for arenas to sell tickets?
Mhm.
You know, why do fewer and fewer people go, even to good teams that are successful? You know, especially like teams in Florida or Arizona, Colorado. Even when they're good, people still don't come out.
Right. Panthers.
And it's like, yeah, that's
Panthers
when I
hockey.
said Florida. Yeah, it's hard even when they're good. It's hard for them to draw, and it's like,
Correct.
you know, if you live outside of outside of an hour from the stadium or two. Like, okay, so when I lived in Michigan, we were 4 hours from Detroit.
Okay.
So it was, you could do a day trip, go down there, get a hotel room, and come back the next day. But if you got a family of four, it was me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. So if all four of us were going, that's 4 tickets you got to buy. So you got 2 adult tickets at $80 a piece and 2 kid tickets at $40 a piece.
Right.
You've already spent $200 on tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to buy gas, to drive down there. It's a 4-hour drive, so you're looking at least 2 tanks of gas, and then you got to drive back. That's another 2 tanks of gas. Even if at $20 a pop, that's another $80.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're almost $300. You got to buy food on the way down and back.
Yep.
And that's another, $80.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got souvenirs and food at the game.
Right.
And there's another $80 or $90 or $100.
Yep.
So in one weekend going to a game, you've already spent $500.
Yep.
And mom has to wrangle the kids while dad watches the game and drinks beer.
Mm-hmm.
And mom's like, what the hell? We can do this at home, and I can put them in their rooms and go do whatever the hell I want to do.
Yep. Correct.
And so there's no point in having there's for a lot of families, there's no point in going to the game.
Right.
Because mom takes the kids down to the kids club because the kids don't care about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or especially if they're younger kids. Or maybe one kid is really into the game and the other kid just couldn't care less.
Right.
So mom and the youngest kid go and hang out in the kids club and ride rides and do whatever they do other things while dad and the older kid watch the game. And then they gotta go back to the hotel room, go sleep as much as they can, get up and drive home early in the morning on Sunday. Let's say they go on a Saturday night.
Right.
And then the next day they gotta drive home, and then the day after that they gotta be back to work on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Work at school and whatever. And so it's hard to get mom to agree to dish out $500 for a ticket. And then you want them to do that 5, 10, 15, 20, 40. It's easier for dad, to talk mom into a couple of football games at $500. Because there's only 8 home games, so okay, we'll go to a couple of games. It's $500,
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you order your tickets early enough in the year, you can get good deals on NFL tickets. They might not be the best seats in the house, but you can still get good deals on NFL tickets.
Right.
But when you have baseball has 81 home games, and you have hockey which has 41 home games, and basketball which has 41 home games, if you go to two basketball, two hockey, two basketball, and 10 baseball games, baseball tickets used to be a baseball ticket in Detroit used to be the cheapest ticket in town.
Okay.
And so you could get 4 or 5 baseball games in for $500.
Mhm.
They've gone up, but I'm sure you could get 2 or 3 baseball games in for $500. But a
Okay.
hockey, 2 hockey games is definitely a hockey game is definitely going to be, after factoring everything that you've got to pay and all the travel and all that, it's going to be definitely going to be $500 for a hockey game.
Right.
And then and basketball, basketball is the same way. So, if you go to 2 hockey games, 2 basketball games, and 3 baseball games, you've already spent $1,500 on the team.
Mhm.
And it's hard for people to continue to come out day in and day out, especially when you've got 80 games or 40 games. Even if you're a good team, there's no guarantee that you're going to win. So it's hard to go out to a game that, if they're, a lot of times you want to go where you feel like you've got a better than 70% chance of winning, And it's hard to get fans to care about a team and want to come out when you're mediocre to good at best. And even if you are good, like Carolina or the Panthers, the Hurricanes or the Panthers, even when they're good, you've been bad for so long, it's hard to get your fan base to engage and be interested. Uh-oh. Did we lose Mr. Walker? Oh, no, he walked away. Oh, maybe he'll come back. If he comes back, we'll bring him back in. Ooh, we got Formula 1 this weekend, too. Sweet. I didn't realize they were back. Come on. I don't know. Sorry. I apologize for the dead hair. I'm trying to scroll through this through my guide here to see what's It's an 11 o'clock start. All right then. Cool. So we'll have F1 back on our TVs here tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. I got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Heck and heck. What does this do? Cool. And then that makes it full screen. So I guess we'll talk a little college, a bit of basketball. The Sweet 16, who are the teams that remain. I can do this because I have a bracket that I filled out. So we're getting ready to start it up. I did not have a good round of 32. I got Gonzaga. I got Creighton, which I don't. Did I have? Yeah, I had Creighton, but I had Virginia moving on. Ugh. I had Kansas moving on, who lost to SC. I had Iowa moving on, who lost to Oregon. I had Michigan over LSU. I had Florida State over Colorado. And I had Texas over UCLA. I had Maryland over Alabama. No, I had Alabama. Sorry. So and then I had Baylor over Wisconsin. I had Nova over North Texas. I had Arkansas over Texas Tech, and then I had this one. That was the Ohio State bracket or branch of the tree here, and I had Florida. I had Ohio State, and then I had Illinois was my second final team. So I've lost a final four team. I didn't have anyone in that bracket because did I have Oklahoma State? I thought I had them losing to somebody. No, I had Oklahoma State over Liberty. And then I had Syracuse. I had San Diego beating Syracuse, and I had Rutgers beating Houston, and I got that one wrong. So the matchups here, starting at the bottom, and I just goofing off, and I thought, well, I had you know how it seems like every year there's a 2 15 and a 2, and that was Cleveland State was my 2-15 matchup that I thought was going to win. So now looking at I'm probably gonna get copyright struck for that. So you have Oregon and Loyola, Oregon State and Loyola, Oral Roberts and Arkansas, Creighton and Gonzaga, Villanova and Baylor, Syracuse and Houston, and Florida State and Michigan. I swear they're not coming for me. So, I don't know what's going to happen next. Because, obviously, if I knew that, then it would be kind of silly to play the games. I have the Zags moving on. I don't have anyone in that bracket. I have Michigan moving on over Florida State. I have Alabama moving on over UCLA. So I'm gonna take SCU. I'm gonna take shit. I don't know. It's hard to say because they've both been really good in the tournament. But I am gonna take and they both destroyed their opponents. I expect that to be a high scoring affair. I'm gonna take SC. Michigan over Florida, of course, or Florida State. Alabama over UCLA, but that could be a very close game because UCLA gave because they were in 11. Where'd it go? They beat BYU. It was a 6. Thumped Abilene Christian handily, and so they could give Alabama a battle, but I like Alabama. And then you got Baylor, Wisconsin, or Baylor, Nova, and I have Nova prevailing in that one. Then the Razorbacks and Oral Roberts, I like Arkansas. And then Loyola Chicago over Oregon State. I like Loyola Chicago. Then you've got Syracuse and Houston. I like Houston. So, in the Elite Eight, I've got Gonzaga, USC, Michigan, Alabama, Villanova, Arkansas, Loyola Chicago, and Houston. So that's what I'm predicting based on what I've seen in the tournament so far. What else? Oh, let's jump into the NHL real quick. We talked a little bit, but I haven't talked a lot. As we look forward to the and we'll do a draft recap and we'll probably be done for the day. Or trade deadline recap. As we get ready to push for the as we head towards the trade deadline in the NHL, should be later this week if I'm not mistaken. Tampa Bay at 1, no surprise there. Bounce back from last week. Vegas at 2, moving up 2 spots. Yeah, Vegas is going to be a tough out again. They've been really good their first couple of years here in the NHL. And then they've got, so this week Tampa Bay has Dallas, and it was 2 nights ago, Carolina tonight and tomorrow night, and then Columbus later on this week. Then Vegas had Colorado Thursday night and tonight, and then they have the Kings on the 29th. Carolina has at 3 down 1 from last week, but they have this tonight. 2 nights ago they had the Jackets. Then they have Tampa Bay tonight and tomorrow night, and then they have Chicago on the 30th. And Florida has Chicago 2 nights ago, Dallas these 2 nights, tonight, tomorrow night, and Florida's at 4, and then they have Detroit on the 30th. Colorado at 5, down 1 from up 5 from last week. I thought it said 6, but it said 5. 10. And they have the Golden Knights tonight and Anaheim on the 29th. And to Washington at 6, and they had played New Jersey the last 2 nights, and then tomorrow night they play the Rangers. And then they go to New York for 1 on the 30th. The Islanders down 2-7 have played Boston on Thursday, and then they play Pittsburgh tonight and Monday. Anders Lee is out for the season. Ugh, they're screwed. Toronto up 1, and they had Ottawa on Thursday, and then Edmonton tonight and Monday night. So Toronto is going to ride Jack Campbell. Then Minnesota at 9 down 2 from last week, and they played all their other games were earlier this week. I didn't realize Bill Guerin was the coach, and is it that Bill Guerin? Open link in new tab. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like it's that Bill Guerin. Man, he was one of my favorites back in the day. Yeah. It is that Bill Guerin. Okay, cool. Then Boston at 10 up 1 from last week. And they play Buffalo tonight, and then they have a game tonight. They play Buffalo, then they play Jersey, and on the 20th and 30th, up 1 from last week is Winnipeg, and then Pittsburgh is down 4. Edmonton is up 1-13. St. Louis down 1-14. Philly up 1-15. Montreal down 1-16. New York up 4-17. LA up 1-19. Chicago down 1-18. Columbus up 3-20. Dallas up 1-21. Calgary down 5-22. Vancouver up 2-23. Arizona down 4-24. Nashville up 1-25. San Jose down 2-26. New Jersey stayed the same. Detroit up 2-30th. Ottawa down 28. Ottawa down 1-29. Anaheim down 1-30. And running out the bottom of the shit show that is Buffalo. Rounding out the league with the shit show that is Buffalo. They've got a long way to go. So that was the NHL, and then we're gonna recap real quickly, because I don't really have, let me look at the standings real quick, and we'll talk about that. So I think you really have. My mouth was dry. Sorry. So Tampa Bay, is Tampa Bay the best team in the league? They have to have the most points to be number one. Yes, Tampa Bay is the number one team in the league. And Carolina, so this is the Central. So Tampa Bay, Carolina, Florida, and Chicago are the. Let me look at this one real quick. So yeah, okay. So the best four, the top four in the league right now are Tampa Bay, Washington, the Islanders, the Hurricanes, and the Golden Knights. And the bottom four of the top 8 are Colorado, Toronto, Florida, Winnipeg, and Pittsburgh. And apparently it's not going to have playoff standings, but hey, whatever. I believe the top 4 in each division make the playoffs. So would that work? So those are 4 there. That's 4. Yeah, 4. There's 4 divisions. Yes. Let me NHL standings. Here we go. Let me hopefully this will give me a better, because that was last year. Well, it's not showing me what I want to see. It's really annoying. So I want to see who's in, who's out. But I think the top 4, top 3 in each division make the playoffs, and then yeah, whatever. I don't care. I can tell you which teams are not making the playoffs. Buffalo. And Dallas is only 7 points behind Chicago right now, so they got a chance to make up some ground. And they have 4 games in hand on Chicago, so they can make up 8 points while Chicago doesn't play any games. Alrighty then. So that's that. So now I am going to look at, we got about 20 minutes left in the show, so we're going to look at the NBA. Here we go. Victor Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, Iran. Oh, well, how old is this freaking article? Oh, LaMarcus Aldridge has been bought out. Victor Oladipo was traded to Miami for a trade swap. Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk. Andre Drummond they weren't able to. Pelicans dealt JJ Redick to Dallas. I like that move. And then Toronto. Rajon Rondo to the Clippers, and Lou Williams to the Hawks. Lou Williams to the Hawks. I did read that right. That's a guy I've never heard of. I got a huge basketball guy. I didn't know Mar Harkness was still in the league. Troy Brown and Mo Wagner got traded to Chicago for Daniel Gafford and Chandler Hutchinson. And probably the biggest trade of the day is Aaron Gordon going to Denver for Gary Harris. And Denver gets a 2025 first round pick. So that's good for them. I may lose you guys. Boston got Evan Fournier for two second round picks. And the Bulls picked up Nokia Volnicek and Al Farouk Aminu for Otto Potter, Wendell Clark Jr., and 2 first round picks. And they didn't get Lonzo Ball. And the Bulls sent the Magic a 2021 and 2023 first round pick. Al McGee went to the Nuggets. Lowry ended up going anywhere. Okay, so there we go. And that was all the trades and all that good junk. And let's go look at the standings real quick in the NBA, and we'll talk a little basketball. Is that royalty free? Can I do that? Can I make that noise? Yeah, load for me, you bastard. Okay, so the fill-in, and you can shut the hell up. God. Close. I just want to look at the damn standings, damn it. Oh, I probably should turn the light on. That might help. Can you see me better now? Probably. So you have Philadelphia at the top of the Atlantic, Milwaukee at the top of the Central, a couple games behind Milwaukee, or Philadelphia. The Hornets at the top of the Southeast, Utah at the top of the Northwest, Phoenix at the top of the Pacific, Dallas at the top of the Southwest. Oh, wow. San Antonio is not as bad as I thought they were. So now we're going to look at the league. Okay, so the Utah is the best team in the league. Oh, excuse me. Followed by Philadelphia, Phoenix, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Trailblazers. That's the top 9. Dallas is at 10. San Antonio is at 11. Charlotte is at 12. The Knicks are at 13. Atlanta is 14. 15 is Memphis. Boston is 16. So that's everybody. Detroit's better than Minnesota. Wow, how the hell did that happen? I don't know. I really don't know. And they've also played 2 fewer games, or 1 fewer game. Two fewer games? Something like that. I don't know. And Detroit and Houston are terrible both together. And there's going to be some kind of play-in game or something like that. So a play-in tournament. So I think the top 5 are safe. Top 4, and then 6 and 8 play a game or have a play-in series. I think it's best of 3. I'm not really sure how that works. Got about 15 more minutes, and we're done for today. It's been a good show. I want to thank my guests, Lewis and Bradley. Appreciate them coming on today. It was fun having them on. We'll be back again same time next week. So we'll have more to talk about. We'll have Bristol Dirt. Let's go ahead and get into that real quick before the end of the show. As it rains here, and I'm only a couple hours from Bristol, so it may or may not be raining there. And if it's raining there, it's going to be a mess. Where is it? Oh, it's not until later tonight? Oh, it doesn't start till 8 o'clock? Boo. I was hoping it was an afternoon race. Hopefully the weather will have moved out by the time they try to get the truck race going. We shall see. Hopefully. I can't make any guarantees. I'm not a big dirt guy. I much prefer asphalt. It's what I grew up on. It's what I like. So hopefully it'll be a good race tomorrow. The practice went really, really smooth. So I'm hoping to have see good things from that. It should be a good time. It's the first dirt race in over 51 years. First dirt race in NASCAR since 1970. NASCAR moved away from dirt because they wanted to focus on asphalt racing. I kind of feel this is a one-off. I don't know if we'll have more, if it'll become a yearly thing, or if they'll go to a dedicated dirt track. I wouldn't mind, as long as they go to a dedicated dirt track and we dump a Pocono race. I could live with that. Honestly, especially if the racing's good tomorrow. If the racing's good tomorrow and it's close, fun, interesting racing, and there's beating and banging, and there's a great finish. I'm afraid that it could become like the outdoor games for the NHL. Because I like the first couple of outdoor games. I think it should be a couple. I think they should do every other year or every couple of years have a dirt race and have it at a dedicated dirt facility. So that way they're not having to bring in 10,000 gallons of dirt, or 10,000 tons of dirt, as it were, more apt description. They don't have to bring in thousands of tons of dirt every couple of years to fill up. To fill up the track in Bristol. So I can live with that. It'd be fun. Could be fun. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big dirt guy. I don't know how to set up. I don't know how to tell you. It is interesting that to go right, you gotta go to go left, you gotta go right. So you turn the car in, you get the car set. As soon as you get it set, cut that wheel back hard to the right. So that when you turn, so you set it in, you get it sliding, and then you cut the wheel back to the right. Just about the time you get to the apex of the corner, you cut that wheel back hard right. So that as you're turning, as you're going through the corner, you're straightening back out as you go back out onto the front stretch. So you go in high, cut the car drift, and then at just about the time you think you're gone too far, you cut it back to the right real hard. And I finally understood what Doc Hudson was talking about as I play a lot of NASCAR Heat 4. So I was playing that, and I was running the dirt race. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I turned the car in left, and just about the time I hit the apex of the corner, I pull it back to the right hard. And so I go around, and then I cut it back to the right and get straight and go. So it's right, you start in left, and you pull it back to the right. And so I finally understood what Doc Hudson was talking about. You go right to go left. So you don't turn right into the corner, right? You turn left to start. You start your turn. You naturally turn left. Then to go back left to complete the exit the corner, you turn right. So your car starts in, drifts out to the wall. So you go down straight into the corner, turn left. Just about the time you get to the point where you think you've over rotated, and you're gonna spin out, you snap that wheel hard back to the right, grab a handful of wheel, catch it back right, get back on the accelerator, and you cut it back to you get it straightened back out, and you get going. And so I think that's the key to driving dirt, is to be able to turn and to be able to get the car to set in the bank or into the dirt, into the banking right like you would want, and then be able to bust it back to the right and get back on the throttle and get straight. And that, to me, I think that's really the difference that's going to make all the difference tomorrow, is the ability to get the car right and then get it straightened back out. Anyway, that being said, as I wind the show down for today, really don't have anything else. I kind of talked about everything I want to talk about. So recapping the show, San Francisco bought the farm. Noah Gregson is I like Noah Gregson, but he can be rough around the edges. GMing is hard. The NHL is winding down. Got a couple more, about a dozen or so games left, maybe 20, a little bit less than 20 games. Same with the NBA. Big trades in the NBA, but we'll have to see what happens next. I believe NASCAR is in talks of bringing a street course onto the schedule next year. Let me look that up real quick. Herpy-derpy-der. Okay, so what it is NASCAR is going to run a street course on iRacing at some point in the near future in Chicago, and then it could be and then with possible talks of running a June 2nd. That's the iRacing event will take place on June 2nd. Which should be a Wednesday. Yes, I did mean June 2nd. It's a Thursday. Okay. June 2nd. Yes, it is in fact a Wednesday. I kind of thought, because they've been running the Pro Invitationals on Wednesdays. So, with an eye on the future, NASCAR is going to be running a Pro Invitational race at Unscripted Chicago. Pro invitational race at the Chicago Street Course in downtown Chicago, with the possibility of running it in the future, a real event. I don't know. I kind of wish they would stop trying to do different things and would focus on making the racing better at the current tracks that we have. You can't have. That's one thing that's hard about racing and motorsports in general. It's because there is so much nothing going on after the green flag. After the first 3 or 4 laps, everybody's kind of settled into the groove. They figured it out. They know where they're going to be, and they're just kind of riding until the next caution or a chance to gain position. And even running street courses, road courses, it doesn't work. As if you have a long stretch, let's say you get 10 laps without any kind of incident, everybody gets stretched out. You can't pass. You can't race. The biggest problem for NASCAR right now, in all motorsports, is there's no action during the middle of the race. There's nothing going on to keep you tuned in. You know, as much as people think that football has nothing going on, you have a lot more non-action. You know, when you look at a NASCAR race, because that's my favorite motorsport, when you look at a NASCAR race, there are about 5 or 10 laps of action in a given green flag cycle after a caution. After the start of the race, outside of Daytona and Talladega, you have action for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, first 5 or 10 laps, and then after that, it's kind of whatever. And so what ends up happening is that people tune out, and there's nothing going on. For the most part, you're not going to miss anything. You tune in an hour later, and nothing's happened. Everybody's running pretty much the same ways. And so what really NASCAR has to do is make the cars race better and be more competitive. You know, the fact of the matter is that you can't have guys getting 5 or 10 second leads and sticking up the show, run away and hiding every week. You know, the occasional blowout, you know, we're as football fans, we understand the occasional blowout's going to happen. And as long as it's not our favorite team, it can be fun to watch. As long as it's your team that's not getting thumped, a blowout in football can be fun to watch because there's high scoring. I'm talking about like a 52-0 blowout, not a 28-13 blowout, a 15-point win. It's 2 scores, but it's still, or if they're 31-10, you know, low scoring blowout. I love that term. I credit my old man with that, a low scoring blowout. 31-10, a low scoring blowout. It's 21 points, it's 3 scores. But it really doesn't it doesn't really feel like a blowout for football. But with NASCAR, you know, you can have a guy that leads 200 laps and ends up losing the event just because he didn't have his car went away in the last segment. But I'm going to go ahead and close this up for today. Wrap it up here. I got 2 more minutes. Not that I'm counting down or anything. I'm just saying I got 2 more. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed your comment. I will go ahead and address that here at the end. I'm not a big soccer guy, but the comment here was, in my opinion, who is the best footballer in the world? Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Pierre, Lewandowski, or Ramovich? That's a tough. Those are all great players. I would say, I would say Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and then the other guys I don't recognize. So, if you had Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, any one of those guys, I would be in their prime. I would have been happy to start a club with. I appreciate the comment. I thank you for popping in and leaving a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Most important thing you can do right now, as well that I'm small, is share the video. Share it far and wide. Like and share. Like and share. That's all I can ask. Is the most important thing. Like, comment, and share. And that's gonna do it for me. I want to thank firefighters, police, military, all of the men and women on the front lines of COVID, the doctors, nurses. Appreciate y'all, guys. And lawyers, you can suck the fat one. Thank you all for watching.